Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, former Trump endorser Chris Christie, is going to be running against Donald Trump and the other Republicans in the primary field for the Republican presidential nomination. NBC News is now reporting former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie to announce his 2024 presidential bid on Tuesday. It is Christie's second run for the nomination. He will announce at a town hall in Manchester, New Hampshire. Two sources were confirmed. The article reminds us that Chris Christie stumbled, is the word they used, to a sixth place finish in 2016's New Hampshire primary. Axios was the first to report the timing of Christie's announcement. After he dropped out of the race 8 years ago, Christie endorsed Trump days before Super Tuesday, lending a credible name to Trump's momentum. Another interesting aspect to this is that ABC News is immediately suspending its relationship with Chris Christie. Chris Christie has been a analyst, contributor sort of person on ABC. ABC has announced that at least for now, they are suspending their relationship with Chris Christie because he is indeed becoming an official candidate. So I'm going to be very transparent with everybody here. If you came to me, maybe with tears in your eyes, and said, David, if you knew that one of the Republicans currently running would be the next president of the United States, who would you pick? I pick Chris Christie. And when you say to me, okay, well, there's Trump, there's DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, Mike Pence, Vivek Ramaswamy. At this point, I don't even remember who else is running. You've got, I guess, Asa Hutchinson, God forbid. No, listen, I mean, from this group, I go with Chris Christie. Chris Christie as a New Jersey governor, a blue state that sometimes elects Republican governors in the mode of what we've seen happen in Massachusetts as well over the years. William Weld, Mitt Romney. I can't believe I'm blanking. Charlie Baker more recently. I would be, if you said, forget about Democrats, it's going to be one of these Republicans. I think I go with Christie. I actually think Christie is more intelligent than a lot of the other people he's running against. I will remind folks that this could be a factor if Christie gets on the debate stage with Trump. Christie is actually pretty good in debates. And remember these moments back from 2016 when Christie really made Marco Rubio look stupid by pointing out that Rubio is in a sort of talking point coma, repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Remember this classic moment?
You have not been involved in a consequential decision where you had to be held accountable. You just simply haven't. I want the people at home to think about this. That's what Washington, D.C. does. The drive-by shot at the beginning with incorrect and incomplete information, and then the memorized 25-second speech that is exactly what his advisors gave him. See, Marco, the thing is this. When you're president of the United States, when you're a governor of a state, the memorized 30-second speech where you talk about how great America is at the end of it doesn't solve one problem for one person.
This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not
true.
There it is. He knows exactly what he's doing.
There it is, the memorized 25-second speech.
Well, that's
there it is, everybody.
You
know what the shame is? You know what the shame is, Marco? The shame is that you would actually criticize somebody for showing up to work, plowing the streets, getting the trains run back on time, when you've never been responsible for that in your entire life.
All right, so listen. Chris Christie can debate. I would be, from an entertainment standpoint, I would be very interested in seeing the approach that Christie would take to Trump. From a pragmatic standpoint, if I had to pick from this group of Republicans who is the next president, it would be Chris Christie, and I think probably by a long shot. It is, I think, maybe interesting or important to note, there are MAGA people already making fun of Chris Christie for being obese. Trump's obese. It's stunning to me that the supporters of one obese candidate are making fun of another candidate for also being obese. I mean, yes, Christie seems more obese than Trump. I saw some tweets going around about Chris Christie doesn't need to run for president. He just needs to run, like go out and jog in order to lose weight. If that's the best that the MAGA people can come up with against Christie, I actually am very interested to see whether Chris Christie can get some traction because he is quick. He's got a quicker wit. He's smarter. He has experience as a prosecutor, a sort of experience that is lacking in the Republican primary and might actually be interesting if confronted with Trump on a debate stage. So I'm going to be following the Chris Christie candidacy closely and from an interested perspective. If it's Christie versus Biden, I'm voting for Biden. Certainly, I agree with Biden much more on policy. But I think that that's the most interesting. Vivek Ramaswamy, so boring. Tim Scott, dead on arrival. Who cares? Pence, oh my goodness. Pence might try to bore the audience into submission. But Chris Christie, I find a little bit interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. We'll take a quick break and be right back. If you've been thinking about getting a new mattress, Helix Sleep is where I would start. I've been sleeping on Helix mattresses for years now. I recommend Helix to everyone, which is why I wanted them as a sponsor. If you don't want to take my word for it, Helix has been awarded #1 mattress by both GQ and Wired magazine. And one of the things that makes Helix unique is their sleep quiz. I didn't really know what kind of mattress would be best for me, but you do this short sleep quiz. You answer questions about your body type and your preferences, what position you like to sleep in, and Helix will match you with the perfect mattress for you. So you know you're actually getting something tailored to your needs instead of going in blind like most people do. I got my Helix mattress designed to stay cool at night since I hate getting hot while I sleep. Shipping is always free. You get 100 nights to decide whether you like it. My audience gets a huge 20% discount off of all orders, plus 2 free pillows. Go to helixsleep.com/Pakman. The link is in the description.